What's good, guys? It's your boy Chad from Defund Simping, and we have a special guest all the way from Ohio, almost hitting a milli. And that's huge with the content that we make. Hitting a milli is massive. Put your hands together for Thoughtcast, aka Sue Me.
What's going on, man? Happy to be here. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for taking the time out.
Hey, my pleasure, brother, man. It's been a long time coming. I know one day we collaborate on something. I'm glad I could get you here. So real quick, man, for the people that don't know who you are, live under a rock, right? What's like, what is your account all about? And what's the message?
So Thoughtcast is more about holistic healing, right? We don't niche down into one particular area and hyper focus into it. We try to focus on all areas. So business, relationships, marketing, whatever it might be. And I focus on I have a lot of businesses myself in the marketing department, in the financial department. And, I got into coaching, I've been coaching people in business for a long time. And then I started putting content out there, and then I started coaching a lot of people in their relationships, when it comes to talking to people that are friends in any aspect. So we're all about holistic coaching because we want to improve everyone in every aspect, because when you neglect one area, that's going to become a weakness, and we don't ever want that. So that's really what Thoughtcast is about.
Got you, man. And what made you want to pick up the camera and start making TikToks? Because I know for myself, the biggest issue was when I first saw TikTok, the issue was I saw a bunch of kids shaking their hips, right? Yeah. And I'm like, that's not the place I want to be. And then my friend just kept bullying me because I'm my background, I'm a comedian. Like I did stand-up comedy, YouTube videos. Like that's what I was doing before. So he said, take your comedic stuff and take it to TikTok. So what made you want to jump on? Because I know it wasn't instant where you jumped on the second the app began.
Yeah, I jumped on probably I want to say 8 months ago. Like I've had the app for like a year, I would say, but really about 8 months ago. And it started when, a lot of I do marketing. So a lot of my marketing clients just didn't use TikTok. And I'm like, yo, you got to get on TikTok because it's very, very explosive. It's much more explosive than any other platform.
Any other platform ever, yeah.
TikTok has the most downloaded app of 2019, 2020, 2021. And wow. 2018 also, it's arguably, going to be 2022 as well. So I was like, you guys got to get on it. No one was like, yeah, I don't know if it'll work.
Exactly.
So I got on TikTok and I started talking about, things I just believed in, honestly, just talking about things I wanted to believe in. And so the account just caught a lot of traction. I was very, very honest with my delivery. And, here I am today, 8 months later.
And what's your account at roughly right now for followers, roughly?
780, I would say.
Yeah, that's fantastic, brother. And so with, I think it's funny, right? So when you start making content, to you, it's common sense how, things work and things operate. But to a lot of men, this is brand new information, brand new. So what are some things, one or two things that you were seeing in the comment section from men? You're like, wait, y'all don't know this? Like, what are some things you're seeing men struggle with, from your coaching clients or, the comment section?
If we want to hyper focus just on men, the biggest thing I think that is, I don't even know if it's common sense, but it's like, you're not trying to impress her or get her to like you. You're trying to get her to choose you over all the other guys.
Gotcha.
I don't think a lot of men realize, like, girl that's got 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 followers. Both of us have a massive social media platform.
Yeah.
But you compare our DMs, because I know you get a lot of DMs, I get a lot of DMs, but you compare it to a girl that has 5,000, 6,000 followers, they're the same, if not more. That's the crazy thing that a lot of guys don't realize. Any of the girls I know in my personal life that have 3,000, 4,000 followers, they're getting 10, 20 DMs a day if they're an attractive girl. And that's what I don't think men really understand. Like, dudes are aggressively shooting the shot. They're getting on dating platforms and dating apps. I'm not saying that dating apps aren't useful, right? I know you kind of have a secret sauce platform where you kind of break it down for guys. And so I do that as well. And guys don't necessarily realize that there's 800 matches on an attractive girl, and they're shooting their shot amongst all these men. So one of the biggest things is you're not trying to impress her, you're trying to stand out amongst all the other guys out there. And you have a very short amount of time in today's generation.
All right, so I'll speak on that. So when I was young, it was all about impressing her, because I thought that's what the movies taught me. That's what my mom told me to do. And it sort of flipped on its head. Now I go on dates vetting her. I'm gonna see if I like her. And most of the time I don't. Bro, I could say honestly, bro, last year, let's say 2019, before COVID, 40, 50 chicks. in a year, like not sleeping with them, but like interactions, dates, like hanging out where like this girl sucks. And it was me vetting them. I was asking them questions to disqualify them from me. So it's the mindset of I'm not here trying to make you like me. I'm trying to see if I like you, And a lot of guys get on dates and they're super nervous, super scared, hoping that, oh, I hope she likes me. Try to flip it, like you just said, like, bro, try to see if you can like her.
Yeah.
I think that's one big thing. And for me, I'll say one thing guys are struggling with, you probably know this already, is guys are struggling with approaching chicks, bro.
Yeah. Because
And
they're so caught. Sorry to cut you off. They're so caught up. I know you were just about to say this. Like, there's a mindset where men have to cater to women in like a really big, and there's certain aspects, like when you're in a committed relationship with your girl, with your wife, there's definitely things you do to make sure that she's taken care of. You open the door for her, you get her some flowers. There's nothing wrong with that.
Facts.
But I think that in the initial stages of interaction, it's not about like, how can I impress you so much? It's more so about, do we have an organic chemistry that makes sense for both of us? And I don't think guys are in the process of like vetting, like what you're doing. Like, it's like, there's levels to it, right? It's like, you're not calling them out, you're calling them up, where it's like, you start off trying to just impress one girl, but later, once you really graduate in your mindset and your approach to women, you now are deciding if women are going to be good enough for you and valuable enough for your time,
Facts. So when it comes to approaching, man, it's funny, right? Guys will be shitty at approaching. They're not good at it. Fair. Okay. Then on the other hand, they have a horrible social media presence.
Yeah.
Their photos, like have masks on their photos, or they're, cringy photos, like of them with their phone, like underneath, like, it's like, you can't be bad at both, right? Either you're good at going out on the weekends and talking to women, or you're a god on dating apps, like my boy Austin Dunham. You know what I mean? Like, you have to pick one, and men struggle with both. Because when I'm on coaching calls with guys and I'll ask them, how are you sourcing girls, getting them, their attention? They're like, well, it's just Tinder. And I'm like, bro, I guess there's a reason for that. Because you're banking on the algorithm to match you up with the chick. And most of these dating apps are about money. So it's like, you're banking on like an algorithm to get you a match, when you can actually just work on yourself, work on your anxieties and your, whatever it's holding you back, and get good at approaching.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that dating apps fail at, and if you look at the data science of this, men favor about 50% of the women on dating apps.
Right? Yep.
And women favor, it's 4.2%.
Yeah, 4.2, like legit 4, like
literally like very small. So you have an astronomically small chance of, number one, even matching with the girl.
Yeah.
Then from there,
that's just the first.
That's the first part. Yeah, and that's like where it's like, then it kills a guy's confidence. It shatters them. They start going down this dark rabbit hole of like, I'm not good enough to get a girl. And then when they actually get a girl, they mess it up because they're like, okay, she's actually going on a date with me. I gotta think this right. I have to get this right. And they lose it because of their lack of confidence. And the number one thing like any woman wants in a guy is confidence. Like, sure. And I think like one of the biggest things that people don't talk about too is like the ability to walk away from a girl, like a very attractive girl.
Oh, dude, I do it all the time.
That's something that guys should really learn how to do if she doesn't match up with you. And it honestly, like the funniest thing is getting rejected by a girl doesn't mean it's over. And honestly, you rejecting a girl can actually increase the chance, in a lot of scenarios, can increase the chances of her pursuing you and catering towards you, where you can then turn around and be like, all right, she's really trying. And I don't think guys like ever think that this is a reality. That's like the biggest thing. And that's one thing that you focus on, where it's like you get the girl in a messed up way, ironically, by not trying to get the girl as much, by focusing on yourself.
Got you. So it's funny you mentioned about walking away, right? Because let's break it down for a guy. So he's average looking. He can't approach girls. He gets a match a month on Tinder. He finally gets that date. In his mind, it's like, this has to go fantastic. And let's say the girl, he texts her good night, like after the date's over, and she doesn't respond to him. He starts panicking in the morning, double text. She loses interest already. It's like because he's coming from a place of scarcity. My mindset, baby, I will match with 5 girls tomorrow and link up with 2 of them next week. I am not worried about this date. I ain't worried about you. because I'm in massive abundance. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I come from a place of, and also, bro, there's been a time where I was at a club. I picked a girl up, took her out to this bar, and bro, she was a smoke show. Like she looked maybe I give like an 8 on IG, maybe 9 in person, like really hot. All of a sudden, I started feeling in my chest that this girl's not into me fully, and I shouldn't have brought her here to this club. Get to this club, bro. A guy walks up, legit walks up to her, starts talking to him. I look at her, look at them both, go, I leave. She texts me, oh, where'd you go? I went home. Well, why? I just listen. If you can't be loyal to me for like 10 minutes, then this isn't gonna work out. But she started, they start getting like, oh, I'm sorry. Take care. Most dudes would have the balls to just walk out and say,
Right.
bye forever. You messed up. You fumbled the bag, baby.
A lot of guys don't operate from that mindset of abundance. And the thing is, though, psychologically, I don't necessarily blame them, even though they shouldn't, because in today's society, if you're a girl, above average looking girl, like on social media, you're getting a rush of interaction. There are like IG models, it's flooded of DMs.
Sir.
Check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark, celebrity, athlete, everybody, and it's crazy. And like, even the girl, like, this is the thing that people don't understand. This, what we were talking about too. Girl that's like 3,000 followers, 4,000 followers, that's relatively attractive, is going to have a massive abundance of guys DMing her. And it's difficult for guys. Like, women are empowered and they're like, because guys will shoot their shot, and guys are almost receiving nothing because there's no standard procedure or really people out there that teach guys, like, this is what your Instagram needs to look like. This is that you need to appear socially proofed. You need to make sure you're doing the right things. So and then that translates in person too. Like, they're two separate things, but they have some kind of, collaboration overlap there. So I think one thing I'll ask you, right?
Yeah.
I love to pick your brain on it. Like, what do you think is the number one way to source women, right? And I know there's multiple answers to this, and there's definitely
source. Okay. And
then number two, it's like, how do you get out of that? How do you get in a mindset of abundance? Is it just snap your fingers, just operate like that? Or is it like, is there a process to it?
So first of all, sourcing. So for me, I'll give you guys my rundown to how I source. In my area, there's a poppin' Taco Tuesday spot where it's basically like a club, right?
Yeah.
And ton of bad Spanish mommies be there. So I pull up. So I usually talk about two girls a night. That's my average. If I talk to two, I usually convert both of them usually to social media, but to the date, that's a whole other thing. So I usually meet 2 girls per night when I go. Friday, Saturday, I'm out. Now, mind you guys, I know this sounds like I'm out a lot, but I go out with my work done. Wake up at 6, 7 a.m. gym, work from like 9 a.m. to about 7, 8. I'm long work days. So when I go out from like 10 to 1, 11, 12, I go out for 3 hours. So it's like, it's not that much. And also, I'm not drinking. I'm not a drinker.
I cannot stress that enough. I keep telling guys this, and they're like, don't drink water. What do you drink? The water. It's a hydration contest for me. It's just the water with ice. Keep going, man. I just wanted to.
So when I go out, I usually have one drink, and it's usually like a prop, and I sip it all night. So I'm not really drinking. So I'm not out here getting blacked out, guys. Don't do that shit. So on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, I'm sourcing girls. So in a week, man, I made interactions with like 5, 6 girls per week sometimes. Now that's like a hot week. But I'll just give you an example, right? Where 2 Tuesday, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, right? And sometimes if I'm really feeling it, Sunday fun day. That's 8 girls I met in person, right? Then you have dating apps running. So I have what's it called? Think of like a boat, right? I have my deep sea fisher. I'm picking up all the tuna, the hot ass girls, right? Then I have my other crewmates tossing out massive ass nets with Tinder and Hinge and Bumble, and they're freaking throwing out nets, right? And I'm getting leads from there. So I'll say in a week, bro, total 12 chicks. So it's like 12 girls a week from me in person and online. That's crazy. That's a lot of lead generation, right? So now question number 2, abundance. I earned abundance by putting in the work. Guys, a lot of people think that I was born this way. When you see this, guys, in this physique, it's hours of picking at like pictures of in like how to get better. So for me, I was small. I was about 145 pounds leaving high school. So I started lifting heavy, eating lots of food. Now I'm at 185, almost 190. Okay. Then I didn't like how my facial hair was and my hair was. So I started studying attractive people who are Black. Why are these people attractive? Can I emulate their look? And then I did. So the body came, the looks came, and now I'm killing them. So I basically earned the abundance mindset. You can't just have it. If you're gonna match a month, I'm sorry, you can't just be in abundance. You don't have nothing to be abundance with. So sourcing, going out, plus dating apps, at an abundance, I earned it.
I'm gonna say something too. That like what you're talking about, physique, like that. Obviously, that is like this is like regular stuff to us, but I
Yeah.
don't think you guys know. Like you have to work on your physique, you have to work on your looks, but that only gives you literally like 30 seconds, 20 seconds. If you're a good looking guy and you walk up to a girl, like you'll get the initial conversation, but
Yes.
only 20, 30 seconds. That's it. And I don't think guys realize that. And one of the biggest things I tell guys too is like, yo, any guy that's been with a lot of girls or that gets a lot of girls, they've been rejected a lot. Like
Oh yeah.
rejection. You have to get good with rejection. And you have to be able to handle a girl telling you no and not like being, well, I don't like you anyway. You'd be like, oh, totally fine. See you later. Have a good day. Turn around, another girl. That's it. And you have to move on with that aggression because it really is a numbers game. And it's like people look at this like, oh, people, I really liked her. There's tons of beautiful women out there. There's 3.5 billion women out in the world.
Nice.
You haven't talked to all of them. And one thing you said too, the Taco Tuesday spot, like that's good. Like I always tell guys, go out. I mean, if you go out 7 days a week, theoretically, you're going to have 7 times the success of you.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to find hot girls, taking your trash out or mowing your lawn. It's not going to happen.
Mhm.
But one thing I'll say too, right? When it comes to dating apps, I have a completely different approach. I mean, I don't know, you didn't hyper specifically break it down, but I think a lot of guys don't like, what would be your approach on dating apps? Do you DM the girl on Tinder?
Yeah. So for me, I probably honestly spend like, I probably do 30 swipes a day, honestly. I don't do a lot, about 30 swipes a day, about 10 in the morning. I always count. So I don't sit there and be just blindly swiping. I give myself 10 swipes and I'm out. So for me, good pictures, man. That's all you can stand on Tinder and Bumble. Hinge is a different story, but Tinder and Bumble, all you have is your photos. So I make sure the photos are fly. Got one of me boxing, got one of me and my boys in like nice places, got one of me just being like, dressed up, like a little Cuban link and a collared shirt in a nice restaurant, right? And it works. And I have a method where I tell guys 4 to 5 messages, you're setting up some type of plan. If it's a FaceTime, or an actual plan, right? Because to me, bro, I've FaceTime chicks and when they got too comfortable, like as in like they had no makeup on, I'm like, oh, hell nah. Like, because it's like they look wildly different because most of their photos are filtered. So I like to FaceTime them before I link up with them to see if we can connect and vibe, you know what I mean? And then we set the date, but I'm quick. I told guys, dude, girls legit hop on dating apps for a day or 2 and get off.
The 40% of women hop on dating apps and don't even go on a date from them. They just use it for the
validation.
Yep, exactly. And my strategy, okay, so when it comes to dating apps, right, I have a completely a little different approach. And I think it, work. One of the things I tell guys to do is go on the dating app, right? And look at a girl you like, and then look up her Instagram. Pretty much every girl that's relatively attractive, she's gonna have an Instagram.
True, most of the time.
Most of the times, right? You look up her on Instagram and then you message her there because you're not compartmentalized to a dating app now. You can be more organic and you can be more, because she's getting all that traffic in the dating app, but she's probably not getting it. It's better to compete against 80 guys than 800 versus the Instagram and then that.
So yeah, I like that.
She's single. She's single, and and you can be a little bit more aggressive. You can give her whatever. You can swipe up on the story. And the biggest thing I tell guys too, like this is right. You're not following them. You're not like.
I never follow. Oh no.
You're not going on exactly because you're not allowing yourself to be. You're reducing the risk of rejection. And number one, because that gives her control. It's not that like, oh, my feelings are going to be hurt. I don't want to be rejected. It's just that you're controlling the leverage in the initial communication, right? Dating is super digital now, like especially the initial interaction. So you're messaging her, you're swiping up. I mean, that's the only part where she might leave you on red. Who cares, right? But you're not following her. and you're just messaging her because you've seen her photos on Tinder, you've seen her photos on Bumble, you have an idea of what she looks like. Even if she's private, you're not going to go for the follow and the request. You're just going to do that there. And then you convert from there. Get her on a FaceTime, 100% same thing I say. So I'm glad that great minds think alike here. But I get her on the FaceTime and I control the frame of interaction at all times.
Sure.
Like I'm like 5-10 minutes. What's up? I got 5 minutes. What's going on? How are you? Tell me a little bit about like real quick. And then I'm like, I got to go. And then from there on, now you've controlled the frame of interaction. You're not dragging the conversation on too long and you're making plans. Within 5-10 minutes, you can decide if she's worth your time. Seriously, like if she's worth your time and you like her and you're connecting organically, if it's a match or not. You know, she might not like you, you might not like her, it's whatever. So then from there, go in person, go on an interaction. And the biggest thing that I do from there is I try to invite her out socially, right? I say, hey, I'm going to be at XYZ bar at this time at 8 o'clock. Why don't you bring some of your friends? And, you know, I'm going to be there with some of my friends. So if she says, no, I'm not coming with you, I'm like, I'm going to be there anyway. It don't matter. Okay, maybe next time, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not predisposed on it. So biggest thing I tell guys too, if you want to get a lot of women in your life, be social. Have a group that you go out with, network with people, have guys and girls that you hang out with. So when she shows up with 3 of her friends, then you're laying there like, what's up, Sarah? What's up, Kelly? How are you doing? Who's the bad one out of the group? Who's the fun one? Okay. Like, and then you're playing the whole thing. You're not giving her hyper-focused attention. It's calculated neglect from there. And then you've tripled your leads right there, right off the rip. She's got 2 more friends with her who may or may not be single. And you can leave that interaction. You can keep her there. You have full control where you can go out that night and do whatever you want. And guess what? If she decides to tag along with you and you decide that's your like almost like a backup, because when women see you with other women, they're like, this guy is, you know, it's social proofing. It's more of that. He's with 3 girls that seem to be very interested in him. They're in a group I can approach and it's not going to be awkward.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'll say this. I hear people talk about that. Like, don't make it so formal. Just, hey, I'm going to be here. Come here. The only issue that that's happened to me twice in my entire life, where you bring girls out to public places and they choose up, right? And now your night's kind of shot because you invited a girl out and you say, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Okay, cool. All of a sudden, some guys are okay. They're gone. Let's go. They move on to them. You come back and they're like twirling their hair. They're all into it. Like, damn, well, all right. Well, that got awkward. So now it's like you don't even want to talk to her anymore because like she's entertaining other dudes. So that's the smallest issue. That's the only issue I have with that. I've done it before and it actually went well. Like they kicked with us the whole night. But there's been times where I've done that. And of course, they're hot. Like they're a smoke show. So the second I left, group of dudes came in. So would you care if dudes swarmed your date necessarily, or would you not mind?
I'm kind of like, I wouldn't. Okay. Yes. Yeah, so this is it's a very, very complicated question because like, it really depends. So if I'm with XYZ Sarah, right. And I go here and a dude's coming up, I'm going to indirectly understand her interaction. I'm going to watch if she's giving into it and she's like, okay, yeah, like let's exchange numbers and stuff like that. I'm going to be like, I'm going to kind of separate myself a little bit. I'm going to do my own thing and I'm not going to be rude about it. I'm just going to be like, not interested in her. And I'm going to go talk to another girl and do the same thing that I'm going to mirror the energy. That's literally what it is. And she's gonna be like, what are you doing? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what do you mean? We're just both hanging out. Yeah. But if like, I'm with some friends or I'm meeting some people out, or she's more like that, that's actually a good thing. Like, it's a good test. You know, if I'm with a girl and guys are coming up to her and she's not giving them attention and she's focusing on me, then I'm going to respect that to some degree. I'm going to say, okay, well, little check mark right there. You're okay. You know, and then I'm going to continue from there. She still might not be who I want. It's whatever, but at least she's giving me that respect. And that's something I really value, you know? So in today's society, women are so quick to just here, there, choose up 100%, like you said. But if she doesn't respect the interaction, that's if she's going and getting hit on by dudes and these dudes are actually making some progress and she's not putting up the barriers there. Because at the end of the day, I tell this, it's not your job to fight the dudes off. It's her job to not she's the gatekeeper, you know? So if she's doing that and she's just not giving attention, she'd be nice. I'll be like, yeah, you know, she's cool. But if she's giving into it too much, and in full fairness, she's single. She came out here to meet me.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to go do whatever I want to do. And that's the beauty of it. You're in a bar, you're in a social setting. You have other options available to you. You're not coming in with the mindset like me, Sarah, and her friends are staying together this entire night. It's whatever you want. Put zero expectations on the night and go on about your, or the day, and see where it goes.
Got you. And another thing too is like, for example, and where I live, man, like at these bars and clubs, there's at least like 4 or 5, like, whoa, like you're hot, right?
Yeah.
Let's say I invite some girls out, right? And but of course I see way hotter girls there. Let's say one of the more attractive girls is peeping me. Let's say I make the dick move first and I go talk to another girl and she peeps out of the corner of her eye. Girls can play that game 10 times worse than you can, because girls can choose who they go home with. You can't. So like to me, like bringing a date to like a bar on the first time can get sticky.
Yes,
But
right.
I have been successful multiple times with it. It's just those 2 times where it went south stick the hardest,
I always try. It's not like a club, right?
Oh, okay.
I don't. Yeah. So let me rephrase this. It's not like you're popping Wednesday bar where everyone's going out. It's like a quiet. It's not like
Oh, quiet. Okay, got you.
You're there with friends. It's like what I normally do
More
is like
intimate.
it's like an 8, 9 o'clock. Like it's not like an 11 o'clock move.
Yeah, okay, got you.
You're with a couple of friends, right? So now we're on the same wavelength. We're with a couple of friends. Might be me and you. We're hanging out and we're just kicking it. We're just chopping it up with us, because one thing that women cannot resist is dudes being able to have fun by themselves with their dudes. It's so attractive to women. Women have told me if we're like laughing, we're like, chopping up jokes and just laughing by ourselves. Women love that energy from guys where they're not like posted up and just hawking around for women. We're focused on ourselves. And so when they walk in, we still have that same energy. We're focused on ourselves and we just incorporate it in the conversation. There's not many guys around per se. And if it does become a situation where that happens with the 1 other or 2 other guys there, you exit the scenario. And that's all it is. But you have a generalistic understanding of the bar and the place. Because if you bring her to the club, oh yeah, it's going to be, sardine. Like people are going to try all day. That's what the club's for. So I don't lead with the club. Like it can end up at the club or it can end up at some place like that once we build that chemistry, which typically only takes 5-10 minutes. The first 5-10 minutes of you interacting with them, you've got to be like tight,
Got you.
That's
so I think we're on this like, first date type of vibe. Might as well continue a bit more. So I made a whole course, basically about DMs to dates. That's my thing right now, helping guys with that. And what is, I guess, your itinerary, right? So I'm talking the day of the date, but so before the date, picking her up, the spot. I'm gonna write this down so we can go one by one. So first thing is like the date it's like at 8 and it's like 8 in the morning, right? So then pick her up, then on the date, then I guess post, like it's about to be over. So pre-date, is there anything that you text her or say or do before the date starts?
One of the things I always have a plan, right?
Me too,
and
yeah.
I gauge this. If I don't try to separate, like I'm going to take this girl out really nicely or I'm going to take this girl out very nicely, because all the girls that I am trying to work with are high quality, right? And this is not like to impress anybody. It's to press upon you. Like you should only be going for the girls that you really, really mess with, that you really care about, right? And a lot of times too, before the date, I won't necessarily I don't try to make small talk when I first meet. I don't try to like get to know her over text. I'll say, let's get to know each other a little bit in person. That way I can really understand who you are. And I'll sometimes say that too. So like, I want to, it's like the movie. Like I want to save the interaction for that.
Gotcha.
I do the FaceTime, the 10-minute FaceTime. And I definitely went interact with her there.
Gotcha.
And that's how I get to know her and make, she needs to know that I'm not like some weirdo that's going to, women always have this fear that someone's going to
serial killer.
The serial killer thing.
Yeah, facts.
Google me, whatever. I'm like, look, like I get her on that interaction and then I set up a plan and then I got to go. And then before the date, I'm like, hey, like, I'm still good for here. I'm getting ready right now. I'll see you soon. Right. That's
assumptive.
Yeah. Short text. Right. And, I do it a little bit before, because if sometimes women flake, they do.
Yes,
sometimes
they do. They flake.
You're going to hate me.
But yeah.
You're going to hate me for this. I have this, my whatever. And then I'll pick her up, whatever it might be.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm sorry to cut you off. Just to make sure, guys. So pre-date, I always tell guys what you did too. Assumptive text. Don't say, are we still on? Say, hey, looking forward to seeing you at 8 o'clock tonight. Be assumptive with your thing. Because sometimes if you ask the girl, are we still on? She's like, huh, are we? You know, it's a thought like, are we still on? And then all of a sudden they go, wait, Kenzie did say she needed me. My dog is tired. Like she starts this thing about thinking of excuses. So, and also guys, is not to be, you know, a bash on women, but the most time they're a slave to their emotions. Like, dude, my car can break down. Hey, car broke down. I said I'm gonna be there at 8. I'm gonna be there at 8:30. I'm gonna get an Uber. Like, if I say I'm do something, I'm gonna do it. I said, Sumi, 12 o'clock PST. We're here at 12 o'clock PST. Like, it's word is bond. Girls, is from my experiences, and though it has not been word is bond with them at all.
And the truth is, they don't owe you anything in the beginning. They don't owe you anything, and they can do whatever they want. And honestly, if you're talking to attractive women, which you should be talking to attractive women that are high quality women, they're gonna have other men that are interested in them on the Thursday night, on the Friday night. They're gonna have other plans, usually lined up. They have 3 of their girlfriends hitting them up. Like, are you going on the date with the dude? Okay, me and Kelly are going here. If you want to just dip out, you can meet us here. They got like backup plans on backup plans. Women that are high quality operate from a very big abundance platform, you know? So you've got to be very assumptive. Like, what's up? Getting ready right now. I'll see you soon. That's it. You're just going. And you just look for a like or an okay.
Yeah.
And if she's not reciprocating on that, then you just don't even bother. Right. So there's like women that I'll be like, I'll see you soon. They don't respond. And I just gone. And they're like, what do you mean? Blah, blah. I'm like, you didn't let me know. I assumed that you weren't coming. I assumed that you weren't there. No, I was ready, blah, blah. I'm like, sorry. Just is what it is. You know?
And I'll say this too. As this little fun fact I do. You've probably seen TikToks of guys like showing up showered ready at the spot and get flaked on. For me, I don't even get ready till the girl says she's getting ready.
Yeah.
That's a big game changer. If I text her, hey, yo, so I do something, I make a joke. Hey, you know, if it's the date's in an hour, okay, I'm picking up in an hour, I'll say, yo, about to pick you up here in an hour. Do you still need more time to work on your eyebrows? Like a little joke, right? And if she flakes, then okay, I'm good. Never got ready. But if she goes, oh no, just got out the shower. Okay, cool. I can start getting ready because she's not gonna flake now. Like she's getting ready. You know what I mean? Girls, once they get ready, they don't want to be flaked on, which I understand. So that's that. So number 2, when you pick her up, do you like? Is there any type of what's it called, ritual or it's thing, or you just go with the flow at that point?
I just go with the flow. I mean, like, women are all different. There are women that will literally say, I will not get in a car if you don't open the car door for me. Right. And then there are women that will be like, they'll just be like, where are you at? I'm coming down right now. Like, and they'll do whatever. And so I just go with the flow with it. I mean, I don't want to like compartmentalize and like, you know, I always open the car door because I don't like, it's not, we're in 2022. I don't necessarily, if she's like, it doesn't take anything for me. Like, I don't mind doing that. It's not like I'm like, never open the car door for her, but it's not something I generally go for unless like I really know her, you know? And like, I've had a girl get in the car and she's like, why didn't you open the car door? I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, I always have guys open the car door for me. You never done that. I'm like, oh, well, see how it goes. Next time I got you. Like, it's just like,
so it's funny, bro. I had only one girl say it to me, and that's a Chad, choose your battles. Because if you will smoke her in a, if you like, it's like, girl, listen, do you want to debate about this right now? Because like we can debate. So me open the car door is, we say traditional. Yes. Are you a virgin? You're X'd out. You're not traditional. So it's like, but obviously the date just started. So it's like, I'm not gonna go to war and be Myron right away. You know what I mean? So it's like, girl, you don't want to do this right now. I usually just laugh it off and finesse it. But it's like, if a girl ever like did that again, of course I'll probably play it off. But it's like, to me, this is my take on it. I'll open up restaurant doors, right? And I'll walk where I'm on towards the street and you're on the inside. You know, I'll hold your hand walking. I'll do the basics. I think that's pretty basic. But they're like, I call this advanced chivalry. Like going into the restaurant and pulling your chair out and scooting you in. And like putting your napkin and like that, to me, people can disagree, has to be earned.
Yeah, no.
If I'm a female and a guy did that for me, I'm like, this guy does it with every girl. Every girl he meets.
For sure. No, my mindset on it is like, this is the philosophy and the mindset I go on with dates.
Yeah.
I go on a date with myself and she's just my company. That's like
Yeah.
really where my mindset is at. Like, so like even from the start, if she was going to flake, I'm still going to go do whatever I want to do because I'm going to enjoy myself. And I don't mind being chivalrous because I can afford to, number one. And
Yeah.
it's not like I go out of my way, but like I do the nice things because it makes me feel fun. Honestly, the process of feeling intimate with someone is very enjoyable. Creating that romance, right? That's the fun part. You can have one beautiful night with a girl and never see her again, and that's okay. Like that's just a good experience that you have. It doesn't need to become something. When you place expectations on it, that's where it becomes wrong. But with the car door thing, I play my position. I'm like, I'm not the guy that comes up to a girl at a bar like, let's get out of here. You look in my eyes. Like I'm not that dude, right? I try to have a conversation. I try to introduce her to my personality. I'm not very serious. I'm like a very serious or not serious. There's no in between. So I'm always cracking jokes. She says, why don't you open the car door? And I'm like, oh, it's kind of heavy. You know, you're a little stronger than me. You might like, I'll joke around and I'll rub it off. And some women will be very serious about it. And then, 100% pick your battles. And then,
next thing is now you're like at the spot. Like you have like again, ritual or things you say, or it's all just with the flow.
First thing I do is I'm always asking questions. So yeah, I always have a plan first off, right? I always have a plan not like we're going here, 8:15, he's bringing out the champagne. It's nothing like that, right? Definitely. But I have like some kind of itinerary for the night where I'm taking her somewhere. It's not crazy. You don't want to take her out to, this is like, some people argue with this. You do not want to take her out to crazy fancy place. It is not. Facts. That's a bad tone. It really defines a relationship as like, when women ask me, like, I never tell women how much I make, right? First thing, I'm never trying to flex. I'm coming super regular because if she likes me for me, it's not like me at my worst. I'm still presentable. I'm looking good. It's not a terrible place. But if you take her to really high-end places, even if you're like can afford it, her mind goes into that, oh, it starts becoming a resource-based relationship where she's using me for something. And that's not good, So I take her to a regular place where, I've been to a couple of times before, or I know somebody there or a waiter or whatnot. And, I start asking her questions about herself, almost like an interview, right? Because I tell people like the business of dating and stuff it's a business, right? It's really, you're vetting for someone to be a bigger part of your life and to take up time in your schedule, So it's like, you have to kind of vet them out. So I began asking them questions about, anything, right? First thing is like, what do you do? What do you like to do for fun? Like simple questions. I'm not doing too much, like where it's like, I don't ask the basic questions like, what's your favorite color? Yeah. But I try to get into more engaging conversation. And this is difficult because it has to be organic. And there is no, you have a text play script probably, but I typically don't go by that because I like to just kind of feel her out. I ask about her family, brothers, sisters, what she does for a living, if she enjoys it. And then I see if she's reciprocating to me. I see if she's asking questions on me. If she is not asking questions back, I'm automatically losing interest.
Me too.
In my mind, it's like, if you're not trying to find out more about me and it's just a
show.
Yeah. I don't want it to be like that. So, and also I'm looking how picky she is at the menu, because I'm not a picky eater myself. And I'm looking at what she likes to eat, how she orders, all that stuff, So,
okay, I got you. So, ritual yeah. So, second part, which is, where we arrived there. So I call it chain link questions. Mm-hmm. So for example, are you in school? Yes. Why? Oh yeah. I'm trying to become an engineer. Okay, that's dope. What made you want to do that? Oh, my dad. Okay, let me ask you this. Are you an engineer because you want to, or because your dad told you to? Okay. Now we're getting deep here. Okay. Yeah. Now she's talking about things she only like her closest two girlfriends know. Okay. Oh, I'm doing this. Okay. Well, no, sorry. She said, I really want to be a veterinarian. Okay. Then why aren't you a veterinarian? Well, because of this and this. Well, how about, you have time, you're only 21. Like, why don't you try it? Like just ask her this. Okay. Why? Yeah. Okay. You said this. Why'd you say this? Just boom.
Questions. Passion-based. And then you're the three things. It's like, what do you think about that? Oh, really? Like, oh, really is a great one, right?
Yes.
Oh, really? Like, tell me more about it. Like, you get her talk. Women love to talk about themselves. They love to talk about their lives, and they love to talk about, especially younger women, right?
Yeah.
Younger women, you'll notice, like, and I don't want to generalize here, but like, 18 to like 24, they always have big goals in their life. Like, I want to do this, but I want to be a lawyer one day and own my agency one day.
Yeah.
24 to really like 30. This is very general. People are going to
don't cancel them.
Yeah. This is going to be very general. It's like one of these things like where women will then start to think about marriage and kids, and they're not as ambitious on their lifestyle goals because, they've been through a few relationships. So they're talking about certain things. I like to ask a lot of same thing like you. I ask why a lot. Where is her mindset at? What is she passionate about? What does she really want to do? And I'm trying to get like these deep, dark secrets, and I'm just being super vulnerable myself. I love doing that. That's really
what
nice.
I do a lot. That's what I do a lot. And it usually goes well. I'm always looking for the questions asked back because, I can name so many girls where it was just all about them and they never asked me anything back. But here's the thing though. I shoot myself in the foot sometimes because I know for a fact they've been on dates with guys who are horrible in conversation. Okay. And the date probably went okay because since the guy didn't say much, it forced her to say something. So sometimes I ended, stop talking. And almost one time I was on a date and I was like, you know what? This girl hasn't asked me anything. So took the drink and just smiled at her. Right? She didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. And then she said, are you gonna ask me something? I'm like, no, it's your turn. And just take another sip. And just kept smiling at her. Like they're like never breaking eye contact. It's like, and then she was like, okay. So blank. And then answered. Then all of a sudden it flipped. Okay, well, why? Like she almost like picked up my type of question, type of asking. So sometimes guys, if you're at a date and the girl's just not reciprocating, be playful with it. Don't be weird. Take a sip of your drink or something. Just smile at her. Just eat and smile at her. And she'll go, well, why are you staring at me like that? Well, wait on you. Wait on you for what? To ask you something. 100%. And just smile. Like, don't make it feel weird because I know some guys can be weird with that, but just smile and make it flirtatious and get her to talk a little bit. So that, and also guys, I always talk about this too. I don't want my date to feel like I'm on a date with a coworker. Okay.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we're just, so how was your shift? Oh, it was good. You like very like, we can't get too intimate because we're coworkers. If I can, I choose places where I can sit next to her if I can. Now, don't go to a restaurant booth and sit next to her. That's a little weird. That's why I go to bars where there's bar stools or like a couch where I can be on her, next to her, right?
Yep. You're 100%.
And that helps build the intimacy. You know what I mean? And if I get her laughing a lot and like let's say like I bump her on my shoulder and she bumps me back, okay, all right, like she's cool with touch, and I slowly escalate from there, hand to like high knee, like on the cap, to like lower, but nothing crazy, obviously. What I'm saying is like, I built that up though. It started off next to each other with a little bit of space to her, like hip to hipping me to like, my arm around her waist. Like it built up to that. So don't go for the kill. You have to get positive, choosing signals and, intimacy signs that she's down before you start touching, obviously.
No, that's great. No, I think like, it's funny you say that. My favorite spot to probably sit in a restaurant is by the bar at the corner of usually because you're here and she's there. I'm like, oh, money team right there. That's 100% where I go. And then, it's like, you got to keep the sexual energy as high as possible. Not coworker. You're talking around like, oh yeah, like you're flirting constantly. And the thing is too, you got to playfully tease her, make fun of her a little bit. Like you're not bullying her, and you're saying things that you really feel. And she's like, oh, I think that's just a little rude. Like, why do you think it's rude? Tell me. Like, I'm all ears. Like, I'm not afraid to step on her feelings if this is what I really believe. Like, that's the one thing. Like, women will talk about themselves and feel very opinionated and expect you to agree with everything you say. When you can challenge her and be like, I don't think that's right. And this is what I believe. And, respectfully, all that stuff, she'll respect you a lot more. Because number one thing is a woman wants to feel like you're leading the conversation and you're in control of the situation. And if you're not letting things pass your radar. So let me ask you this, what do you say if she says, are you talking to other girls?
So usually I start with like okay, yeah, of course. Right. And I say like, yeah, of course. And then she go, how many? Yeah, a few. Nothing too crazy, but a few. So I usually laugh and like, you wanna, or I'll say another joke. I'll say, huh, do you want to eat? Do you want to eat for the rest of the night, or you're good? You know, because like, listen, girl, if you think I'm 6'1", you know, almost 200 pounds, with game, yeah, I'm talking to just you. You're delusional. So I don't say that obviously, but I definitely do playfully say a couple. How about you?
What I'll do, okay, because a lot of girls do this. They'll be like, you probably like talk to a lot of girls. Like, they'll say it like that, like you probably talk to a lot of girls.
Yeah,
I'll kind of grab the conversation. I'll be like, look, Sarah, like we both messed for the first time. You know, I'm sure that you're talking to a lot of guys,
yeah,
and especially I'm trying to find someone that I can spend time with and get to know. So at the end of the day, let's just enjoy the experience. You know, I like your hair. I like this. I'll hit on a few things from the previous conversation to bring
yeah.
those moments back. And I'll kind of glaze by it in a way and tell her like, you know, I want you to respectfully at the end of the day, if I'm not the guy you like or whatever it might be, I want you to go find whoever it is. And
Right.
I'm like almost pushing her away and like not answering. And then she starts thinking about it. And when she starts thinking about how many people you start talking to, it starts making her like move into a mindset of scarcity where she's not the only one. And it puts her in competition. When
Oh
you
yeah.
put her in competition, she's naturally going to feel inferior and going to appease you. And this is not in a manipulative sense, but it's more so to let her know, like, you're not getting any
All of
special
me.
treatment from me. Respectfully, like, you know, I'm talking to you, you're talking to me right now. We're here together, right?
Right.
So right now in this moment, like we're hanging out, we're getting to know each other, you
Gotcha.
know.
All
And
right,
I
man.
don't go ahead.
Go on. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go on.
No, you're good. You're good.
All
That's
right,
pretty.
man. So now the moment of truth is, how are you now making your first move now that the date's about to be over? So what's your sauce? I might remedy. What's your sauce?
Okay. So once again, it really depends on the interaction. So like what you said has there's a lot of, if I'm able to have like physical touch or something like that, like knee to knee, like that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, you know, I'll try to move it to a different spot because women like new surroundings, new settings, volatility,
You do
roller
that a
coaster.
lot.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. You finish. Go on.
I'm moving around a lot. I'm going,
Okay.
let's go this bar, let's go that bar, let's go here, let's go there. And I'm completely moving. And I'll try to take you to a place that's a little bit more upbeat where I can, and I'm walking with her and I'm, you know, lower hand on the lower back, like that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Not once again, right? Don't cancel us, right? Not too intrusive, but
Yeah.
we're trying to get a gauge for what she's allowing, you know, because what she's going to permit is what she's going to promote at the end of the day. So I'm going to take her to somewhere more upbeat. And then from there, I'm going to try, I'm a very like physically active person in the sense that I like to move around. I like to do this. I like to do that. So I like to go to some place where we can stand, right? Like a standing bar. And then from there, I'll start to use a lot of body language signals to kind of gear her towards me, bring her closer, so on and so forth. And this is where we've already built the chemistry over maybe some drinks and food, whatever it might be. And then I'll take her to a place where we can stand. Because when you're standing, you can now face, you can now do this, you can lean,
Yeah.
you can move. If you take her to another place, sit down again, it's like the same thing over and over again. You
Yeah.
got to get them moving. Motion creates emotion. So I'll try to take her from there to a higher, more upbeat place. And one thing you got to understand is, and you got to know the places in your city, because you take her to
Yeah.
a more quiet and reserved spot, then a little bit more upbeat, not a nightclub mode. But I usually don't take girls to the nightclub. Like I don't think that's like the go-to, taking her out clubbing and stuff like that, unless it's like a really big thing that she wants. If it's a social group of people, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But you know, the nightclub mode, it's like you can lose people very easily. Like, it's not that I'm afraid of other guys. It's just like, it's just crazy. You know, you can't have a conversation and it translates into something that it may not be. If you're
Correct.
trying to meet girls for the first time and you're going out with your boys and something like that, that makes a lot of sense. But I don't try to take a girl because it translates the wrong vibe. And from there, I'll try to move her into, you know, let's go back. Like, you want to go here, you want to go there. Something I like to do a lot. There's a lot of scenic places in my city, right? I'll try to take her to a scenic place at night where no one is.
There you go. Smart. Yeah.
And like, she'll probably be like, you bring all the girls here. And I got a few tailored out. So I'll bring her there and I'll park my car and we'll look at like the water or something like that. And then from there, you can kind of transfer to my house or your place or whatever it might be. But I don't try to be too forceful with it. And just to be honest with you, like, pets are really good, right? So I love my dog. My dog's my favorite thing. But like, you should meet my dog and stuff like that. You know, whatever you can use, whatever thing that you have that's something like attractive,
Yeah.
whether you have TV, home theater system, whatever it might be. bring her to your place, make sure your place is clean, comfortable. And then I don't really try to make a move when I never try to do that. I like kind of stay respectful, because if you be too aggressive, girls are expecting it. They're expecting you to make a move and try to bed them the first night. And it can ruin, like, you might want to just give it a couple, like, you know, your rule is good. 3 dates. Like, I mean, sometimes that's even too much. I'll try to keep, I won't take her out to dinner again. I'll try to hang out with her or do something, you know, I'll go on a hike with her or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't try right away, you know?
Okay. So let's, so when I say a move, I say more so like maybe trying to kiss her or something like that. You know,
oh yeah, that's automatic.
Yeah. Got you. So, all right. So, but the bedroom stuff, oh yeah, we can talk about that too. But all right. So this is what I do. If I have a great time with a girl on a date, which is usually like 2 out of 10 times, give me the buck. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give you two options. Like they're intrigued. A, I take you back. Okay. Or B, we go for an adventure. Right. Like, they're like, adventure? Like, yeah. Where's that? Let's go. Right. So usually it's like, I'm in Southern California, hella beaches and nice views. So go down the beach, we're standing, we're walking, we're talking, right? And this is what I do. So if I haven't made a move on her already, this is the move. All right. So when you go for a hug, if she goes in like this, shoulder first, you're done. Yeah, she doesn't even want to even be close to you. But she goes in chest to chest, okay, that's good. Step one. As you're releasing her and she's still in your arms, like she's here. Because if you start to release her and she's already like, all right, have a good night, like, she's still not down. So if you're releasing her from like her upper back down to her lower back, you're releasing her and she's still there, hold it. Now you're at her lower back, right? And she'll look up, boom, go, right? That's the method, and it's worked almost every time. You want to avoid hugging her in the car, because all you're gonna do is get a face full of boobs, or in like, she's gonna be like, you know, obviously like this, because it's like if she hugs you face to face.
Car hugs are the worst.
Yeah,
they're like the worst, especially when you meet them for the first time too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't do the handshakes. I just say, what's up, get in, and then I just start going. And then the big thing I'll say too, I look at her lips a lot. Like if I'm before you kiss her, look at her lips, because she'll see where you're looking.
Facts.
And that's like a huge telltale sign that, like, I just look at her lips and I just like, I just like stare at her kind of, and that kind of gears women in the mode. And that's a smooth move there. Another thing I do is like, if I'm like, if I like grab her hand, kind of like try to grab it in a way, and then I'll twirl her around to like come to me. That's one thing I love doing.
That's smooth. I like that. All right, man. We're almost done with I want to take up much of your time. We're gonna do one thing for the podcast and then one thing off camera. So just talking to you about some is, all right, you went very, very viral for the whole cheating thing. Okay. High value men cheat, you know, what is 800,000 likes, 900,000 likes, almost 1 million.
Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah, that one, there's a lot of big videos. Yeah, that one's one of them.
Okay, got you. So here's the thing where sometimes we're fresh and fit and take can go wrong, right? I understand the differences between men and women. You know, men cheat for sex, women cheat. I get it. But here's the issue. Most men will never get to a point where they can cheat and the girl won't care. Majority.
And here's the thing. This is this thing I said it on Fitz thing. It's not cheating if you're letting her know. Like, you look at like I got a lot of friends that are athletes and stuff like that. They let their girl know, like, they're traveling a lot, and the girl is okay with it so long as he comes home at night and he doesn't like lovey-dovey with her. Like, you understand, like, a lot of these celebrities, like, people think like, all these celebrities cheat. They're not actually cheating a lot of times. They're letting their girl know. They're very well aware of it. Their girls stay with them for a reason. And it's not because she's with him for his money. It's because she values him to a high degree, and he's very transparent about it. So yeah, there's interviews with Tate, like, where he's like, women can't do this, but men can do it. There's double standards. I don't think lying to someone is ever a respectful thing. I don't think that manipulating someone is ever good. I think that if you don't have to tell, like, in the initial phases, you don't have to owe anybody anything, but like, when people think committed, there are committed partnerships, right? Where a guy is providing a high level of value. This is very rare. And he's having multiple women, and she's okay with it. And that's what I mean. Like, in these certain situations where high value, you don't want to lie to anybody. That's just not good. You know, does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Now there's some girls out there where their baby daddy's broke as hell and sleeping on an air mattress and he's cheating and she's staying. Yeah, true. There's some guys like that. But for the most part, I don't want to use my platform to tell men to cheat because they're a man, right?
Mhm.
Here's what happens. Let's say you have a family, you have kids, you cheat, that you're like, dude, you're talking about getting a lawyer, going to court. Your
Yeah.
kids are too young to understand this whole female male dynamic. So they're going to lose respect for you. Right. So it's all over a nut, you know? So I, I never, use my platform to tell men to cheat. Because here's the thing, I get the philosophy behind it. I'm not slow. I get it,
Oh yeah.
but it's just, that's just not me. And here's my thing. It's rare I find good women, especially who have at least a somewhat of a similar mindset to us, because we're considered based to society. You know what I mean? So, like for example, like keep it short. Have you ever lost a girl over your TikTok?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
so like we already have it at a disadvantage because our
Yes.
thoughts are on the internet.
And you know what? You know what's funny? Even the size, the sheer following of it is like, you must get DMs from girls all the time and stuff like that. It's like, okay, like it's women judge so heavily because they don't like to be in competition and they don't want to be, women hate rejection. They will not ever, ever put themselves in a situation where they can be rejected, where they can be left standing. So if she sees that you have 200,000, 100,000, like 10,000 followers, she's automatically like, you have a lot of guys or you have a lot of girls that are interested in you. But yeah, you're right, man. I don't think cheating is ever a good situation. Financially, it's very bad. If you tell someone that you're committed to them and you're going to be with them, that is something that you should word is bond, like 12 PST, 12 PST. That what it is.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is if you're letting your girl know that, you're going to evaluate other options or you're doing this and they're like, I don't want to be committed in that sense. And she's okay with it,
Yeah.
which a lot of modern relationships are, because modern relationships are very 50-50 and women are like, there's definitely women that want to be traditional. And like, I'm a very traditional person myself. So I go for those kind of women, but some girls today, they flaunt their sexuality. They go and do this, that, and the third. And, it's meant they shame men for trying to do that as well. It's crazy.
Got you, man. So stay on camera. All right, boys. That was a heat interview, man. I even have much scripted. We just went off the hip, had a great fucking show. Hope you guys enjoy it. Subscribe to the podcast. Be talking to you later, guys. Peace.